Good morning and welcome to Morning Pulse right here on Active Citizens. My name is Sharon Chuku, and this is the show where we talk politics. We do not digress from anything politics on the show. We just dissect and go straight to hot topics that we have in Nigeria. Joining me in the studio, I have with me Ifoma Oji. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Sharon.
You look lovely.
I'm fine.
It's giving Ankara Friday.
Of course. It's TGIF, so
Yes,
I need to be in the mood.
I like the energy.
Yeah.
You're ready for Owambe.
Exactly.
We can see that. Also joining us via Zoom, we have our analyst in person of Mr. Oladimeji Oluwafemi.
Good morning, sir.
Nice to have you. Workers have been exposed and removed from the payroll. Billions of naira could be at stake. Who let this fraud happen and who should be held accountable? Finally, pressure is mounting on Governor Umo Eno in Akwa Ibom. A political group that is the PDP is urging him to return to the PDP. But why now, and what's at play behind the scenes? These are the stories that we are going to be treating today, and we are starting first with Mr. Peter Obi's drama and all of that with ADC. Now, to you, Mr. Oladimeji, we know that initially when this coalition came on board and Mr. Peter Obi showed that he was affiliated with the ADC, there was a lot of speculations. Is he going to leave the LP to join the ADC? But then he came out to say that a coalition party does not mean you have to completely leave your party to join. You just have to come together. It's a union of different political parties in order to achieve a certain aim. Now, ADC is coming out to say, not just to Mr. P2B, but to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar as well, that they should leave their parties and fully commit to ADC. For Atiku Abubakar, he has already left the PDP to join them, and now it just seems as though everyone is waiting for Mr. P2B to make a decision. But what do you think is the reason for this sudden change from the ADC?
Thank you for that question, Sharon.
Okay.
I'm as curious as you are, and I'm confused as well. The last I checked, there are inconsistencies playing out here, not just one. If we can trace the timeline back to when they flagged up, I think in July.
Yes, July 2nd.
And confirmed Senator David Mark as the chairman. You know, there was consequently the confirmation of the National Working Committee that held a meeting. And I remember that at that meeting, even before that meeting, yes, we had news that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Excellency the Vice President, former, had left PDP and going to join the ADC. That's the information we got.
Yes.
Now let me get back to the National Working Committee inaugural meeting and what transpired. After that, during that inaugural meeting, Senator David Mark made a sound pronouncement and said that all members of the ADC, that is the platform that the coalition had chosen to flag off on, push their political ambition on. Any member that is not fully committed will be siphoned out from information and also will not be regarded as bona fide member of the ADC. Subsequently, within, I think, 24 hours of that meeting, the spokesperson, Madam Bolaji Abdullahi, came out and said an exemption has been given to His Excellency Peter Obi and His Excellency Madam Nasir El-Rufai from that categorical instruction and statement by the Senate, by the chairman of the party, acting. So I'm surprised today that we are hearing of the clamor from the party for Peter Obi, Atiku, and the likes to get fully committed to the ADC and leave their current platforms completely. Now, the question that begs for answer is this: who are those making this clamor? Who are those clamoring? And which quarter is it coming from? Because I would take it with a pinch of salt if I'm not getting information either from the spokesperson or the National Working Committee director.
All right. Now, this is something that is quite suspicious, and everybody is echoing the same thing Mr. Oladimeji just said. Why now? This was not the original plan they kind of painted to us. They presented themselves as a coalition. We believe they had this agreement. Okay, we are going to work with different political parties, but it seems as though now the tone has changed. Now, do you think, Ifoma, that this demand is about unity or control?
Okay, I think according to them, it has to do with unity, but at the same time, is a form of control. Unity in the sense that they want to know who is with them and who is not with them, and it will help them, plan strategically, unified ahead of 2027 election. So it's more like they really want to know their standing. You understand the political grandstanding of.
So they cannot do that without them leaving their parties, other people leaving their parties.
No, they cannot do that, because I believe you need to know who is here for you or who is not for you. Now, but I have a problem with the fact that they are demanding or trying to force these two candidates who have, strong political standing in their different parties to join them. I have a problem with that, because I feel like if these people want to join you, let them join you at their own time or pace. Do not force them to join you. But I understand the game they are trying to play here, because if these two people should join their party, will actually strengthen their party and kind of give them more,
like legal standing
for against 2027.
I hear you, and then of course it makes sense that they want to know those that are for them and those that are against them or not with them, right? They don't want lukewarm members. But I don't understand where they are coming from now. We just thought that before now that this was a coalition of different parties coming together, and that was them trying to unify themselves in order to usurp the sitting party or the sitting government currently. Now when you say you want them to get people like Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Mr. Peter Obi, these are people that we know they have ambition of becoming the president and winning the 2027 presidential election, and you want these two political stalwarts to, completely become members of the ADC. And there is something they also said. They said that they are going to leave after they conduct their primaries, that whoever wins will now be the one that would emerge as the flag bearer for ADC. Now, to you, Mr. Oladimeji, do you suspect foul play here? Do you think that the ADC should have told the line of the PDP? Because we don't even know where the ADC has zoned. If you know, please let us know. But we know that the PDP has zoned their presidency ticket to the south. Now, we don't know where ADC is zoning there. So now, without them zoning, they are asking for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to return. They are asking for Mr. Peter Obi to join completely to ADC. Do you suspect any foul play that might arise because of this?
Oh, yes, of course. I said earlier that we are getting pillars of so many inconsistencies. Earlier in the early stage of formation of the ADC, I remember because I followed Bolaji Abdullahi so keenly on X, even when he was still new to the platform. So I remember vividly his timeline. And one of them is this. I think either he wrote it, he posted it on his timeline, or he attended to that question on his stage. I can't really pin it now, but I know for a fact that Bolaji gave a response. And what is that response? Bolaji said that they weren't sure what they will be going into. Either it was going to be the primaries, or it was going to be, consensus. Now, what I understand from the word coalition, even if you check the Webster dictionary, it means agreement. It means compromise. It means, come together in conclusion. If I have to put it in a phrase. But quickly, before I forget, let me correct something that I think you or Ifeoma said earlier. This current coming together of this coalition is completely different from what we had in 2015. What we had in 2015 is a merger of different political parties, where we have the NNPP, the Kwankwaso, and the Kwankwasian, the CPC, that's the Buhari and his wing.
Yes.
Then we have the TN, then Action Congress of Nigeria, coming together, and some faction of PDP that we described as the NPP, new PDP, at that time, led by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Abubakar, what's his name, former governor and former senator from Ilorin. Okay. What's his name now? Yeah, I forgot it. So they came together for a merger, but now this one is completely different. It's a departure from that. This is the coming together of political players, not parties. So this is why they are enjoining them to leave their parties and not telling them to bring their party structures. But that is not even the contention here. The contention is the inconsistency. First off, there is an existing gentleman agreement that has held the balance of our political space in this country. And it is called that zoning rotation. Now, it is obvious. Even the late Adebanjo died on this truth that we must come to equity, justice, and fairness. And he built on that from this gentleman's agreement, it still remains the turn of the South. And you said rightly, Ifeoma, that the PDP, even most of the other smaller parties, are already zoned to the South. The APC, without more ado about nothing, are going to bring back Tinubu, who is also from the South. So automatically, APC goes to the South. So APC is now the only party left.
Yeah.
And the party that is supposed to be the anchor for Nigerians to grasp our salvation and getting a better life away from the current status quo that we have, but we are getting all of this inconsistency of a primary somewhere without you directly telling us who are those who are actually meant to vie for the primaries, the zones, I mean. But here we are still waiting for conclusions from these political players, especially Excellency Peter Obi, to give, he has always said it, and I don't know if you heard, I'm sure the Nigerians listens to him. He said that any coalition that is not of the people, he won't be a part of it. And I'm seeing this inconsistency as representing one that is not of the people. Sorry.
All right. You've just said it all, Mr. Oladimiji. Now, I'm going to ask another question to you, because of what you said earlier. Now, you said that the ADC might just be trying to get political standing, just to gain their grounds in the political field now ahead of the 2027 elections. But I have a question. From what Mr. Oladimiji said, he said that ADC initially, they were the platform that most Nigerians were hoping on to bring the much needed change that we are asking for. Now, they also painted the picture that their #1 goal was to unseat the present administration. Now, if that goal has changed to them no longer wanting to unseat the current president or the current ruling party, and now they want to get political standing, something that would benefit them on the long run, do you think that it is still a party that Nigerians can hope or look onto for change, or to be the platform that will bring the desires of the people to pass?
You know, I told you earlier that when this whole coalition thing started, that I don't actually think that these people are genuine with their intention in the first place. I mentioned it because, like I said earlier, it was still that same set of persons that defected or have been in leadership that defected to a different party. And I provided this kind of ground that there might be possibility that this set of persons maybe want to effect change this time around. They've realized that, I mean, they left the economy in, you know, squabbles or shambles, so they want to make a change this time around. But at the same time, we already know that this is normal game for them. But at the same time, I feel that there's possibility that this coalition thing might be genuine, like I said earlier, and there's possibility that it is not genuine because I'm seeing what's going on here. I understand the fact that they are trying to play their cards right before 2027 election. I understand it perfectly, but at the same time, it's kind of is teetering towards is this really for the people or just for the party? But at the same time, we know that things about coalition, even when it happened, I think that should be 2015, that it didn't stand after election. It was just basically for the election. So me, I don't really know, you know, what to say as regards this, but like we always say, we'll still see it as it unfolds.
Yes, we will still see all of that as it unfolds, and we can only just hope that these people, these parties, they know exactly what they are doing. Anyways, we're going to go straight to Katsina State. Katsina has managed to weed out 3,488 ghost and unqualified workers. Now, Mr. Ladimidi, we talked about the fact that the presidency wants to start sifting through fake certificates, fake academic documents, and all of that. And it seems as though Katsina State is already running with it at full speed. Now we are hearing that they've been able to, they conducted a survey sort of, and out of the over 50,000 workers that they conducted the survey for, just slightly over 48 were verified and qualified workers. Now the remaining over 3,000 were found to be unqualified and ghost workers. And when you look at this story, it is really heartbreaking, because not just are there unqualified workers, there's situations and stories of absenteeism, people that are not even present at work, people that receive double salaries, people that, you know, had illegal promotions, and just different things that are happening in the workspace over there in Katsina State. Now they've fished out over 3,000 of these people. Now, what do you what's your take on this generally?
Thank you, Sean, for the question. First, let me say this. This is an irony of life. We have a current leadership in Aso Rock that is riddled with cases of forgery and and what have you.
Yes.
And the same is the one who is now championing the cause against forgers. We're in the same country where we had someone who disrupted the takeoff of a taxi airplane and later became an ambassador.
Oh.
So it's not so coming to the Katsina matter, it's a dilemma on Katsina anyway, and it's an indictment of the civil service leadership, head of service particularly, of that state. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because if you have 3,488 let us take out that crisis management statement and try and see it a bit. Let's try to remove ghost workers from this conversation and leave it at Katsina with our 3,000 unqualified workers.
Okay.
Because I know that this ghost worker thing, it doesn't really make up the chunk of the numbers that we have here. So let's leave it to unqualified staffers now.
Okay.
It's a problem with our educational sector, and I personally have been writing since 2006, that we declare a state of emergency in our Ministry of Education, federal and state. Let me leave that as it were. Now, Katsina is left with how many personnel?
Over 40,000.
That's why I said, that is why I said they have a dilemma on their end. It is like they are between the devil and the big blue sea. They cannot purge out this 3,488. I can tell you categorically. If they do that, they will break down the the workflow of the civil service. I can promise you that. There will be complete disarray in the flow of service in Katsina State. And we know how important this component called civil service is to governance. So what the whole government is saying with this dilemma is to retrain them.
Oh, they really want to retrain them.
That's what I'm saying. Train some of them that are trainable, and those that are not amenable are put out. But it is not the solution. The solution is to go back to how we let 3,488 unqualified, staff, civil servants get on the system. That's what we should. That's what Katsina State should trace.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate that it's a state where the former president came from.
Exactly. That's the question that we should be asking in the first place. How did we get to this place where we have over 3,000 unqualified workers? But there are some things that Mr. Ladimiji said I'm going to run by you now to know if you also buy into that same school of thought. Now, he's saying that even though they've gone out to say, okay, we have over 3,000 unqualified workers, that the government would still not be able to completely weed them out. That's, sack them completely, because it would cause a disarray in the flow of things. That's one. Then two, he also suggested that the Katsina State government be the one to retrain those that are retrainable. Do you think that the Katsina State government stands so much or even more to lose if they retrain these people who came in through the back door? Or should they deal with this issue as soon as possible? And for the third question now, sorry to bombard you, but for
to be reminded of the question.
But for the third question, do you also think that the government should retrain the retrainable ones, or just bring in new cohorts?
Okay, I think for the fact that this set of persons came into the system, wrongly, I think they should be discarded, because it's more like you're discouraging, the people that suffered to be in that position. That is genuine people that attained that particular position.
So they should be discarded.
If you're filtering them, filter them out. That's for me. That's one. And then which other question?
Do you think it's going to cause disarray though?
No, I don't think so. Because I mean, if you want to, bring reform, it has to do with, you have to be stern about it. You understand?
Yeah.
There's nothing like trying to, see if you can, make it lighter or subtle on some persons. I mean, if you're saying you're not doing this, you're not doing this. But I wanted to give you my take on this particular thing. I think this is a bold move. I love the intention. It's one of the things that, we or the government have been saying over time that they want to do this reformation, noises, but at the end of the day, they end up not doing that. However, I have some reservation with the fact that I really want to see the follow through, because the problem we have in Nigeria here is, the ability or the inability to implement or enforce some things. So if you're screening this set of persons out, what are the measures you employed? The biometrics you said you employed in screening them out, was it genuine? Is it reliable? Because I wouldn't want, at the end of the day, people that genuinely maybe the system was encountering some error or the other, you screened them out. What are you sure the system is reliable? That is number one. And then number two, what are the future plans of this set of persons not infiltrating again? What is the plans that these people will not come back again? That is another one. And then what are your sustainability plans moving forward? These are the questions that need to be asked, or the people need to know moving forward.
Now, do you also think that they should be retrained, those over 3,000 people, or you said they should be discarded? Now, are you saying now that they should employ now all of from the start fresh?
Yes, I think they should employ from the start, but at the same time, I think they should equally recheck. Like double check that these people that they screened out are actually the people that are supposed to be screened out or filtered out.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. At the end of the day, I do get the point of Mr. Oladimiji, and I also get what you're saying. If you are about to make reforms, it's going to cause disarray, to be honest, and it's going to upset a lot of people. But if you don't do it now, when can we get this done? That's the question. Now, also talking about, the ADC first started with trying to give out a warning that Peter Obi should leave his party, that's the Labour Party, and join the ADC fully, and also for Atiku Abubakar. Now, in Akwa Ibom State, an Akwa Ibom group ordered the PDP has urged Governor Edno to return to PDP, saying that he should be a governor that has the interests of the people at heart, and he should not be involved in playing or should not be affected by internal party struggles and all of that. And now I'm asking, it just seems as though there is an urgency. First with ADC, now PDP. What's the urgency about, Mr. Oladimiji? Is it just for the 2027 elections?
It is definitely for the 2027 elections. But are we not discussing the same governor who just doled out SUVs to the past deputy governors of the state? We know why these governors are jumping ship. We know why they want to be part of the APC. And the PDP is not making it even any harder for them to do.
Yes.
Making it easy for them to do. Look, they are politicians. They will find platforms. We are discussing the Nigerian political terrain, so I can speak the way I'm speaking here. So they are Nigerian politicians. They will find platforms where, their interests are covered on. And with Tinubu and APC looking into the direction of a one-party state and giving all kinds of, dancing all kinds of carrots before their very faces, and when necessary, using the stick. I think it is not something to think twice. Not have the moral compass to do that. They don't come off the people. They are, selected based on transactional conversation and balancing of interests amongst themselves. So it's something that we'll continue to witness until we have moved from this status quo. So the governor of Akwa Ibom can continue in this trajectory, but for the PDP to wish him a return is like wishing Lazarus to be back.
So it's mission impossible, completely impossible. So of course I'm going to come to you, but I want to ask, do you think that the PDP is panicking over losing its political footing right now?
Yes, because I mean, like we used to say every time that PDP is dead and buried. So I mean, they are trying as much as possible to see if they can gather more people to the party. At least let them have maybe some sort of small stand, maybe heavy stand, or at least little stand against 2027 election. But if I'm to say anything concerning this whole thing, I think this whole drama is all about who wields power, political power, rather than governance.
So it's a battle for power.
Yes, it's not about the people. They don't. These people, I told you countless times that these people don't care about the people, the interest of people or good governance, nothing like that. At the same time, I still feel that they are trying to, like I said earlier, bring back Eno from APC to PDP, but I don't see Eno budging because of the fact that you don't have anything tangible to offer to him. I mean, he already have that political power. He's in the position whereby the political power in this present destiny is the people ruling. So they can't offer him anything tangible for him to leave that place. And there was something they pointed out. They said that his attitude of grabbing power, I think they mentioned something about grabbing power, saying that he wields, political power. He knows every destiny in the, in the party. I think that is I feel like that's kind of a joke, because if you're talking about defection, Nigerian politicians have this attitude of always defecting to one party or the other. So it's not even something that should even hold water in the first place.
It's not something that should hold water. So the way it's going, it just seems as though PDP cannot resurface again, and I don't know if they can't, even though we know that they have a lot of issues and they contributed to the situation Nigeria has found itself in currently. But I don't know which will be more scary, when we have failed political parties or a one-party system. We can only just sit back, do our best, and watch out as it unfolds. Thank you so much, Mr. Oladimeji Oluwafemi, for joining us today. We appreciate your contribution. And to you, Ifoma Oji, thank you as well for always joining me on this in the program. Thank you so much. And to our VIP viewers, we see your comments, we see your likes and your shares, and we encourage you to keep on doing that. If you're yet to follow us across all social media platforms, please do so. Find us at Active Citizens, and also find me on my personal page at Sharon NM Chuku. And you?
You can find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Miselex.
Mr. Oladimeji.
Yeah, you can find me on X, Oladimeji.
All right. So till we see you later today for Acid Hot, do have a good morning.